Hi and welcome to Ambiflo, the 3D digitalization factory where we turn complex data into visual insights so people can make great decisions quickly. In this presentation we're going to focus on the stamp tool, and what the stamp tool does is it allows you to click on a map and create sites that you can see in 3D. So let's see that. So to run the tool you simply click on the stamp tool icon and it pulls up a dialog box. In this presentation we're not going to focus on the management of geographies. That's something we're going to deal with in other presentations. So for example, search areas. So in this demonstration we're just getting right into just show you how the tool works. The other thing is just a couple of things to note before we get into the demo is when you run the tool, you pulled up this dialog box and it's a control panel effectively, and you can set various settings. So the first one I want to focus on, we're going to just talk about two aspects. Firstly, these configurations. These are your configurations, the customer configurations, and we build these in the tool. Typically these will include both passive structures and the active equipment. There can be situations where it's just active or just passive, but these are your configurations. So when you want to stamp sites into existence, this is the control. This is where we set exactly what is being stamped. The other three settings here are all connected with workflow. We're not going to get into workflow right now, except to say that what you can see here is that not only are you stamping a site into existence, but you're also connecting that entity into the workflow tool. And you'll see in separate presentations the workflow is incredibly powerful tool to make sure that sites and entities move swiftly through their process to closure. So we're just going to hit on save there and we're going to start the process. So just going to pull up the 3D viewer, and even in this presentation I'm not going to get too deep into the 3D application. That in itself is a separate presentation, but you'll see enough here to understand what happens here. So just going to stamp the first location here, which we're just referencing on this presentation as cell 1. So you can see that cell has appeared in the 3D viewer. That configuration in the 3D viewer is not just a passive structure, it also has the antennas inside. And here in the 3D you can see we can turn on the center beam so we can see the alignment of those antennas, and of course we can change the alignment in the 3D application as well. Here for example we turn on the coverage, but again, as I said, not really getting into the power of the 3D. There's so much to show there. We're going to do that in separate presentations. So now we click on cell 2 and we can see that cell 2 has appeared in the distance. So we just move forward in the 3D view so we can see cell 2 has in fact been created. And again, we can turn on the beams. So now we're just going to repeat that one more time and we stamp cell 3, and again it's in the distance because we're looking northwards here in the 3D. And so again we just zoom into the that location. So we can review those. We're just going to have a very brief look at those locations, those sites in the 3D. So the idea in 3D is that you can much better assess and you can actually see what the antennas see. So here again we're looking at one of these locations and we can see the center beams are on and the coverage, and we can move right down onto the ground and we can see and visualize the equipment and what the equipment sees from any perspective. So again, these are more of the same here. So we just want to finish this presentation by linking into the digitalization factory and the key components of that factory. So the first topic is the acquisition, design, construction, ADC management. So the site stamping, that is part of that overall gamut of tools, because we're the acquisition, design and construction, so we're very much in both acquisition and design in that stamp tool. The second thing is workflow automation. We touched on that, but it's a powerful aspect of the digitalization factory. The third thing is the GIS aspect. You saw the map and you had a brief view of the 3D aspect, the 3D tool. Again, that'll be covered in other presentations. What we haven't covered in this either, just to touch on it, in the Digitalization Factory you'll see the document repository where we can store all of the documents, reports, survey data, 360 panoramics, which are incredibly powerful, and we'll see that in other presentations. Then we have the drawing editor on the Digitalization Factory, where we can create and manage drawings without the use of AutoCAD. And we've got, again, workflow connected to that whole area of drawing management and drawing distribution. So we can take email out of the equation, and all of the drawings are automatically stored and archived, and it's only current version, so everybody can work to the latest version of the drawing. And finally, just to reference the fact that this data can continue on into the operations team, have access to the data, so that can help massively with optimization and general operations, and in particular the workflow tools can be extended to cover workflow activities in the operations phase. So if you'd like to have a demo, please go ahead and send an email to myself, ray.henry@ambiflo.com. Thank you for your time.